Hey guys, Broken Nib RC. Just giving you a little channel update and thought I would put my lovely face on screen. Isn't that great? I have not posted anything for a while, and there are many reasons for that. First of all, I won't go into the personal stuff, obviously, but got some new trucks. And to be honest with you, I've been in the hobby for a long time and have worked on a lot of stuff, but mostly I did racing back in the 80s and 90s, but it was mostly street racing, club racing, pretty much. So yeah, I ran like TC3s and Nitro TC3s, associated stuff, and got into some of the club cars, raced T-Maxes for a while. That was fun. Anyway, that kind of thing, and then got into crawling as soon as I moved to Sacramento. Long story, but I ended up with G6s in Nevada, and then Axial Fest, and then this and that, and local clubs here in Sacramento. So I did a lot of stuff with crawling and making my own trucks, souping up trucks that I had, that kind of a thing. And didn't have a lot of bashers. Had a bomber for a while. I'm pointing to a sign that's not even on screen, so obviously I am not a pro at this. Gee, who's surprised? Anyway, had a bomber, built that up because I like to dump a lot of money into parts, and recently had to sell it last year because of the pandemic and lack of work and whatnot, and had to pay some bills. So, but that was the closest thing I had to a basher. Anyway, come this year, got a little money together and got a Creighton, an Arrma Creighton. And after that I got a Arrma Mojave. Got one of those. The latest is a UDR, Traxxas UDR. And not that I mean, I've had fast cars before. I've had Bajas and all that kind of stuff, which were all, gas. This is the first time I've had pretty much a big electric 7th scale, something that could potentially do 60 miles an hour. My big thing is the differentials. This is the first time. I never got into like truggies or anything like that. I just wasn't into the scene. I wasn't around it, so I didn't get into like racing truggies or buggies. The big scale stuff. So I never really learned about having 3 differentials and tuning those with oil and exactly how they work. So it'd be a little silly for me to do videos on these things if I didn't really understand how they work. I'm getting a little bit better at that now. Part of the channel isn't so much to share my expertise, but to kind of follow along the journey. And I do know a few things just for being around for a while and working on these things a lot. And when I did race, I wasn't a very good racer, but I was a pretty good mechanic, and I'd swap out stuff, learned the fastest way to do things. And now as a living, I'm an assembler. I assemble stuff for a living, and you have to have a certain amount of speed and knowledge and that kind of thing to get that done. So some of those tricks really help with the RC stuff, tearing it all down, especially for the first time, and going through that. And I figured a YouTube channel would be kind of nice to share some information, basically, and whatever I learn I kind of share onto you, because it's hard getting a kit. I did a couple videos on the SCX 24, and obviously I had never owned one before, and I was curious about parts and all that kind of stuff, and you take it apart, and the thing's so tiny. It took a lot of research, and was able to find parts here and there. The parts were getting kind of scarce. I don't know how they are now, with, because we're officially kind of in season. It's almost June. So, that kind of thing. Just so that other people, if they have, they can kind of find the video on my feed and can check it out and maybe answer some questions and kind of get them rolling a little bit. And that's kind of the basis of the channel. I kind of wanted to make a video. Well, number one, I hadn't made a video in a long time. I got a new camera, and I'm using that to shoot this. I'm getting a little bit better at the action stuff. I spent the last month trying to shoot action videos with my GoPro, and that was interesting because those were all failures. You couldn't see anything. One time I set up, took all 3 trucks to I found a vacant lot around here, which is amazing, that I could run, and took all the trucks out there, mounted the GoPro on my head. That was fun. Set it up, ran everything, and I didn't hit record on the GoPro. So we learned that lesson real quick. So, it's stuff like that. It's just basically dumb mistakes you make. But yeah, I'm going to start doing a series on these 3 trucks, the Kraton and this UDR, and of course the Mojave, and then whatever else I can pick up in the meantime. I won't be able to. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by anybody. They don't send me stuff to review. I don't. I think I have maybe 319 viewers or something, which it's actually not bad to start. I don't know. I'm one of those people that I like to have things perfect, and for one thing I've learned with making videos is that's never going to happen. You just have to post the video. So there you go. That's the reason I'm posting the video. So it's going to have tons of mistakes and screw-ups. I don't think I even combed my hair. I don't have a script. I'm doing this off the top of my head. So bear with me. So this is kind of like my reintroduction video. Hopefully I'll get some uploads. If I have something to make a video about, I'll do an upload hopefully once a week and get that going. That's the original idea to begin with. And if you check out my channel and you subscribe. It couldn't hurt. Why not? Give me some feedback on what you want to see or what interests you. That sort of a thing. This, for example, this UDR, I picked up stock. I can't leave anything stock. It's just by nature. But I do have some kind of ground rules and souping stuff up. I tend to, like in the case of this UDR, I do a lot of research. Well, I do a lot of research that I can online in different people's experiences with the truck. And seems like there's some drivetrain, not really problems, but the plastic housings tend to warm up after a while, and after about maybe 6 months to a year of heavy use, and we're talking like daily use, they will kind of, the heat kind of blows them out a little bit, and they don't hold the pinions as well, and they start stripping pinions and spur gears and whatnot. And so it's, so I went, in this case, I went with rear and front aluminum diff housings, which was kind of pricey because especially in this truck there's no American distributor for this stuff. It's all out of China, so it's a little hard to find, but you do do a little bit of hunting, and I want to share that kind of information. I want to do a video on tools to get you guys started on tools. And I've got my own thing about the hobby. Is there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions, and a lot of people that have been in the hobby for a long time, and they have very valid opinions. But I'm not going to tell you how to work. I'll tell you what's worked and not worked for me. Same thing with tools. and want to present to you recommendations. You don't have to spend a ton of money on the top end stuff. You don't have to get everything out of a hobby shop. Although, please support your local hobby shop if you have one. But you know what I mean. Sometimes a lot of these tools are just repurposed, and it gives them an excuse to charge you a little more for them. And it doesn't have to be that way. I don't think it's as prevalent today as it used to be in the past, but I'm just saying. I'm out to try to save you a buck. And not only that, you got to spend, you spend in this hobby what you want to spend it on. I'd rather spend it on cool parts than on tools or the latest butter udder grease or what have you, if there's something else available that works just as well. And the dollar or two that I save not buying creme de la creme stuff, I'd rather put into parts. It's just the way it is. I think that's pretty normal. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I will often do that. Hope you guys have a good one. And yeah, keep an eye out. I'm trying to do some uploads as we speak and some action videos. Actually go out and see these things run. We're working on it. I'm trying to get a mount where you can actually see what's going on and make an interesting video. So bear with me. Any kind of feedback is appreciated. Got no problem with that. Like, dislike, that's cool. Whatever. If you want to check it out some more, subscribe. And that's about it. You guys have a great day. Have some fun this weekend. See you later.